During the third Democratic debate, the candidates were discussing what the United States' role should be in the civil war of Syria. Now, Bernie Sanders' position was that the United States should have a supportive role in the fight against ISIS in Iraq and Syria, of course, with the Muslim nations leading the charge on the ground. And later down the road, we could consider supporting the fight against Assad and we could move towards a free and democratic Syria. And Hillary Clinton's position was curious to say the least. We need to try and fight both ISIS and Assad at the exact same time. Take out ISIS and take out Assad, the brutal dictator that he is, and then we can move towards a free and democratic Syria. Now, on this position's surface, before even diving into the specifics, I can tell you a glaring flaw in trying to fight both ISIS and Assad at the exact same time. Um, you're fighting on both sides of a war. And understand why. Right now in Syria, it is the brutal dictator Assad fighting in a civil war against these jihadist struggle groups, mainly ISIS, and then you have the Syrian wing of Al Qaeda, Al Nusra. So the two sides of the war in Syria are the bad, the brutal dictator Assad, and the absolute freaking worst in ISIS and Al Nusra. So this position that the United States is going to be able to fight on both sides of a civil conflict is absurd. And besides the absolute ridiculousness of trying to fight on both sides of war, even on the surface, when you dive even deeper, you realize just how ridiculous it is. So what happens if we take out both ISIS and Assad with this strategy, which won't happen, not without absolutely terrible civilian casualties, but in this hypothetical world where we take out both ISIS and Assad, what happens? Well, there's a political vacuum. Nobody holds power. It's just a vacuum. So who steps in to fill the vacuum and take control over the region? The rest of the jihadists, the rest of the rebels. See, you forgot about al-Nusra. You forgot about the rest of the rebels who have alliances with al-Nusra. And once these various rebel groups are left with control over the region, only more fighting is going to ensue. Only more chaos is going to ensue, with each rebel group trying to take control over Syria. Like most of the United States' foreign policy moves in the Middle East, a strategy where we take out ISIS and Assad at the exact same time is an absolutely ridiculous policy that will only lead to more chaos and political instability in the region. What we should be doing, in my opinion, is first taking out the most dangerous threat to the United States and our allies, and that's, of course, ISIS. Now, this doesn't mean the United States launches a large-scale unilateral military intervention in the Middle East where we go in with no regard to civilians and the consequences of our actions. No, no, no. The Muslim nations of the region, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Jordan, the Kurds, Qatar, all of these Muslim nations in the region need to either join or continue in the fight against ISIS. It cannot be the United States who takes the lead in the fight against ISIS because another large-scale unilateral intervention will only push us towards more consequences down the road. The large-scale unilateral intervention in Iraq gave us ISIS. No, no, no. The Muslim nations need to take the lead on all fronts of the war, and we should be in a supportive role, both militarily and financially, for most countries who want to join the fight against ISIS. Of course, except for the most radical of those countries. It's a scary thought to give the Saudis or the Iranians or Tayyip Erdogan money and weapons, especially when they're already armed to the teeth. But most other countries who want to join the fight against ISIS, yes, the United States should be there for them if they need money and weapons to bolster their fight. We're already starting to win back territory against ISIS. If more countries join this fight, ISIS is absolutely finished. Now, I know my boy Bernie said that he would consider taking out Assad once ISIS is defeated. I don't think that's wise at all. Russia supports Assad, and coming in guns blazing against that regime puts the United States at odds with Russia. That has World War III written all over it. I understand Assad is a brutal dictator, but we need to pick our poison. Going at odds against Vladimir Putin in Syria, trying to be the world policeman and the good guy, or we can take out the terrible threat ISIS is, and we can simply move on and handle the issues we have back here at home. I'll take the second option all day. There are tons of brutal dictators across the world. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Should we waste our resources trying to take out one bad guy when many of the other bad guys are our allies who we do business with? The Saudis, Tayyip Erdogan from Turkey. We even supported Saddam Hussein back in the 1980s. No, 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 no. Especially when taking out that one bad guy puts us at odds against Russia. I'm good. I don't want World War III. Take out ISIS and then go about our business. There are so many issues that we have back here at home that we need to address. The United States is not at the time nor the resources to be diving into the affairs of other countries, while our people go broke and hungry back here at home.